Good morning and welcome to this edition of Tank Time. It's been a while since I've done a video. I'll start off with my original 65-gallon. Not much has changed. There was a heat wave over the summer. I lost a few fish because my AC died and it got pretty hot in here. Clown loaches loved it, but some other fish didn't love it so much. I lost my Hellstream loach and a couple other fish. Most of my Danios. I have 2 left. I lost my vampire shrimp, Megalon. And I thought I lost my 2 little flaming arrows, but they're still alive and well. There's one now. And over here, we have the Pea Pupper set up. I just did a water change on this, like literally 2 days ago. And I cleared out 90% of this ugly brownish, reddish algae, or whatever it is. And it's come back in that little time. You can see it all on the back of the tank. And I really hate the thought of going back in there because these little guys really freak out. There's one now in there. You can see him in there. There he is. Here's another one. These guys really lose their lids when I go in there. They start darting around and trying to jump, and they just flip out. And over here, I have this bad boy. I lost her during the heat wave too. It was like sweltering in here. I'm surprised I didn't lose all my fish. I did his tank too, and it's staying put. I'm getting him more and more on tap water, so I don't have to go and get RO each time and amend it and do all that. Because everything I've heard and read, rams these days are so captive raised that they actually have adapted to a wide range of aquarium conditions. So instead of trying to kill myself, keeping a pH at 7.4 and all that, and in a super soft water, slowly just adding tap water with water changes instead of RO with amendment. And he seems to be doing good. Had to replace the heater. There's a brand new heater in there. It was chilly in there for a couple of days, and he wasn't too happy because rams like it. They like it on the warm side. Now I had a plan to introduce him into the big tank and then use this as a quarantine tank because I really want to get some more gudgeon guppies, or maybe have this just a gudgeon guppy tank. But then I realized if I did that, I would lose all my shrimp. It would be a nightmare on my shrimp. So I ruled against moving him. So I don't have a quarantine tank. And that is because my quarantine tank is now a nursery and has been for quite some time. This is the second batch of sailfin mollies. Let me put some light on the subject. There, that's a little better. And in this little inset box were some babies that were born yesterday morning. I woke up and found babies in the 55-gallon brackish tank. There were 90% of them were in the guppy grass. There are 10 of them. So I just started netting under the guppy grass. It started coming up with 2 or 3 at a time. So I floated this little contraption and I put them in here so these guys don't eat them. And they're doing fine. Meanwhile, back at the big tank, my clown loaches are getting rather large. This one's about 4 inches in length. That's Spot. You can see why I call him Spot. That second stripe is more like a saddle or spot. I had Stripe, but I lost him. And I have Tiger, who at the moment seems to be, there he is. Behind the, oh no, that's a Pandagara. There he is. Yeah, he's behind at the far side of the wall. Hear that? That's a clown loach. They do that when they feed. When they come across a snail, they'll get into the shell with that pointy little nose of theirs. And they have teeth in their throat. It's a trait of their family. And those teeth, they'll shoot them right out of their throat, out through their mouth, and grab that snail and pull it right out of the shell. Kind of like Alien. And they love snails. And that's how they eat biscuits, with or without gravy. Alright, well, I've had a little problem with the black neon tetras. They're coming out of tail rot. One of them is still struggling a little bit. Mr. Sparkle's hanging in there. I don't see a lot of activity coming out of this water lily lately. From what I understand, they have slow seasons and growing seasons. This must be in its slow season. But boy howdy, was this thing ever growing. It was all the way out to here. I'm trying something new. I'm growing pothos out of the tank. with the roots in the water. And fish seem to like that a lot. And that'll take a lot of the nitrates out of the water. Still do water changes, but that helps because this has always been a high nitrate tank. So if the fish don't eat the roots, a couple of pandagars, fish don't eat the roots, that'll be an asset to the tank. And meanwhile, I'll save the best for last. With the star of the show out and about, the gudgeon, or not the gudgeon goby, the night goby. This is the 55-gallon brackish. This is where it all happened yesterday. This is where Mommy Molly went up and had more than 10 babies. I'm sure a lot of them got eaten. And I'm sure there's still, oh shit, my plant's up in the air. I'm sure there's still a few babies in here too. Just haven't been found yet. There's pink. I got some female guppies. I've been loading up on the females, because the males have just been little pests. And then tailing the swordtails and the mollies and even the glassfish. Watch this. Watch what happens when I add some brinies on the scene. Things go a little haywire. The night goby immediately starts to chow down, as does everybody else. Yeah, this is kind of like the breakfast club in here. There's a nice velvet red wag swordtail in the back. He's having trouble fitting in here because there's a little pineapple sword that really doesn't like him. He's the top male, and he says so. There's a little yellow female guppy. We were out at Apple Garden yesterday, and we decided to swing by the pet shop for some odd reason. And I saw these 2 yellow female guppies, and I just like had to have them. There's one. There's that pineapple sword, boss man. There's the other yellow female. She's actually more like a white. Yeah. Not that I'm going to be raising 1,000,000 guppies. I would like to get some babies off of this Molly. Where did she go? Right here. One in the back. This Dalmatian creamsicle sailfin. Because the only possible father is him, which is the same breed. He's attacking that calico right now, who just had the babies. So she's fertile again. Or not fertile, she's ready to go again. I haven't seen anything from this yellow one. This big yellow Molly. I think I saw one baby once upon a time, but that may or may not have been a swordtail. This guppy grass is a real godsend in this brackish tank. It really goes and goes and goes and goes. I don't know if you can see him in there, but there's a very pearlescent white guppy. There he is. This is the whitest thing ever. And I found, here he is, another black guppy. I think she's next to have babies. And glassfish. Flagfish. I've had a couple false starts in this tank too. But so far, the general health of the tank overall is really good. Here's a female with a nice orange tail, albeit bitten. The flagfish are a little harsh on flowing fins. I try to stay away from delta tails and things of that matter, because the flagfish just go right after them. Well, you know what, there's a big bite out of the fin. I don't know, maybe I'll just get rid of this plant. And I've had to replace both these hoods. Because I had these cheap LED hoods that came with the kit. And they got exposed to the salt and corroded up, and this whole side of the tank here was dark. So I replaced this one with a hood, fluorescent, and then this one went out. So I went out and got another hood. Both places I went to, 3 places, one was out. One had one, and the other place had one left, and it was hidden back in the guy was nice enough to sell it to me because he had it hidden. I think he was actually going to take it home himself, but he was very nice to go in there and get it for me because I was desperate. Yeah, that's the brackish tank. Well, that about wraps up this edition of Tank Time. Until next time, I'll see you then. Stay safe, stay well, and talk to you then. Bye-bye.